So I'm going to be discussing two of the biggest trades, well, the biggest trades of the offseason. Dejounte Murray to the Atlanta Hawks from San Antonio, and of course, Rudy Gobert going to Minnesota after being traded from Utah. There hasn't been any further discussions when it comes to Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving, whether or not they're going to be traded from Brooklyn or whether they're going to be playing this year. Nothing substantial like, leaks, information being leaked out here and there, but it's nothing really to even worry about. Like, I'm not checking for it at all. If it happens when it comes to Kyrie coming to the Lakers, awesome. But until they get Westbrook off the team, I still look at the Lakers as a, second round exit at best. So that's really all I got to say on Kyrie and him being a Laker currently. But let me get into, the actual trades that happened when Atlanta, Utah, Minnesota, and of course San Antonio. So we're going to get into the details of what the Spurs received in this trade. Danilo Gallinari, a 2023 first-round pick from Charlotte. It's New York protected. A 2025 first-round pick, a 2026 pick swap, and a 2027 first-round pick. So you could say that is a lot for Dejounte Murray, and yeah, it is. I mean, if I was going to expect anything, I would expect, a player, well, of course, not a player, well, yes, a player and 2 first-round picks, but they got 3, they got Danilo, so it works for the Spurs, it works. Maybe they'll, finally commit to, rebuilding, getting things right, and the Hawks, they get Dejounte Murray and Jock Landale. When it comes to the fit, when Trae Young, Dejounte Murray, I am looking forward to seeing them on the court. It should work nicely. Like, Trae Young's still going to dominate the usage on the Atlanta Hawks, and he is their best player. But having, defensive-oriented guard out there, well, not defensive-oriented guard, a guard that can play defense out there with Trae Young, and they can also relieve him on, the ball-handling duties all the time, it definitely should help them, if they make the playoffs game. Because you saw what happened in the playoffs, how Miami was just, being, very annoying and trapping Trae Young, because, he was their best playmaker and all that. It can definitely help him, not being as tired in the fourth quarter and having, some of these bad shooting nights because he's just doing everything. So I like the fit. I really like it. Is it a bit too much? Sure. Could they have waited? Because, following this trade, Kevin Durant requested to be traded from Brooklyn, and maybe they could have a package to get KD. I doubt it, but they wanted Dejounte Murray and went out there and got him. I'm totally cool with it. The Hawks should be better than they were last year, though, with this addition. They really should, because the only thing they really lost, besides the draft capital was Danilo Gallinari, and he's not. I mean, you like him, but do you trade him for Dejounte Murray? Absolutely. But the big trade, the blockbuster trade, as you would say, Rudy Gobert to Minnesota for 5 first-round picks and 5 players. My God, Rudy Gobert. 3-time Defensive Player of the Year, Rudy Gobert. He's going to be in Minnesota. That's the only thing the Timberwolves get. Utah receives Malik Beasley, Patrick Beverley, Leandro Bolmaro, Walker Kessler, Jared Vanderbilt, and 5 first-round picks. 2023, 2025, 2026 pick swap, 2027, 2029. So, that's a lot. That's a steep price for Rudy Gobert, who's had some issues when it came to his defense not completely translating in the postseason. And part of that is the blame on his teammates not being the best perimeter defenders with Utah. You can also blame the ability that he just can't punish small teams as much as you would like, someone as big as him. But we can get into that later. Now, when it comes to what the Timberwolves, well, the Timberwolves should get better. Definitely they're going to be way better on defense. And they should be, a top 5 seed in the West. I really believe that. Because Rudy Gobert, he does a lot for your defense regular season. Not saying he'll translate in the postseason. Not saying that at all. But he does a lot for you in the regular season. He's going to win a lot more games. So it wouldn't surprise me at all if if Minnesota, wins 50-some-odd games this year. That wouldn't be surprising at all, because he is a terrific floor raiser on the defensive end. The fit with him and Karl-Anthony Towns could be a bit wonky at times. It really could. But being that they're going to move Cat to the 4, being that they got Rudy Gobert to, anchor the rim down there, this could be like a dyed version. Well, no, actually, yes, it could be a dyed version of, Dirk Nowitzki and Tyson Chandler. You would just switch their roles. Because Cat's nowhere near as good as a player as Dirk Nowitzki, but Tyson Chandler wasn't the defender as Rudy Gobert. So, yeah, it could work. It honestly could work. I'm looking forward to seeing how they play in the regular season. Utah's defense definitely got a lot worse. Their perimeter defense actually improved with this trade. Now, we don't know if Patrick Beverley's going to get bought out or not, but their perimeter defense definitely improved with this trade, getting guys like Jared Vanderbilt or Patrick Beverley. So while Utah has made the necessary improvements to be better on the perimeter side for defending the ball for once, they got rid of the big piece that held all their defense together with Rudy Gobert. But I'm interested in seeing what Utah does, because I honestly think they should be looking ready to, move off Donovan Mitchell, depending on how this season goes. If it doesn't do well, I would expect for them to move him in the offseason, because they're not trading him this year. The reason why is because the All-Star game is in Utah. And it wouldn't be the best look to be trading, your two All-Stars when you're hosting the game that year. It does help to have, someone on the home team be a part of the festivities, like when it came to Cleveland and their squad last year. But, it doesn't hurt at all. I know the main selling points of the other All-Stars, guys like LeBron, Giannis, Nikola, Joel. Those are the main selling points, but it doesn't hurt to have, some home love at the All-Star game. It really doesn't. But I'm looking forward to what Utah, Minnesota, well, I know San Antonio's going to be looking, blow it up. They're rebuilding. But all the other teams, I'm looking forward to what they do this year following these trades. There has been other offseason news I will definitely discuss more in depth, like the Supermax extension given out to a few players. The fact that DeAndre Ayton hasn't done anything yet in free agency, whether or not as returning to Phoenix and going to a different team. We'll talk about that stuff more in depth. And of course, the Lakers have their own offseason video. When it comes to these Lakers pickups and signings, they're like the inverse of last year. It was a bunch of old guys, minimum contracts, 1-2 years, whatever. This year, it's the opposite. It's a bunch of young guys, specifically clutch clients, on, some 1-2 year deals. Yeah, my thoughts on the team are still the same. We have to see how the Kyrie situation develops. But until they get Russell Westbrook off the team, I'm still looking at this team as a second round exit at best. That's all I got for y'all. But more videos coming soon. Without the way, ladies and gentlemen, y'all stay safe. I'm out.